Hello, welcome to Data Structures and Algorithms program. This program is capable of doing simple calculations based on the value it gets from the user as an input. So I want to start with the calculus, which I defined in here. It has two parts. In the private part, I defined all my values to be able to use them inside of my calculus, not outside of it. In the public part, I defined all my functions to be able to use them outside of my calculus, inside of my main function. I want to start with the summation function, which gets two parameters, an integer array and the integer value. It starts by assigning 0 to summation sum because adding 0 to any number doesn't change the end result. So I use 0 as a starting point in here. Then it uses a for loop to be able to access each value of an array at the specific index. Then it will do the calculations with the summation sum, then assign to summation sum to update the result. It will iterate like that until the for loop terminates. After the for loop terminates, it will show the success message in here with the total. In the multiply function, similarly it uses an array and integer value. It starts by assigning 1 to multiply sum because multiplying with 1 doesn't change the end result, but if I use any other number rather than 1, it will change the end result and give us incorrect results. So I use 1 instead. Then it uses a for loop with a similar logic to do the calculations. After this for loop terminates, it will show the result with this message in here. In the division function, it uses an array and the integer value as a parameter, but different than other functions, it uses our first index value of an array as a starting point, because if user entered 10 and 5, the result should be 2. For doing that, I use first index's value as a starting point. Then it uses a for loop with a conditional checks if and else statement. In the if statement, it checks is the value different than 0. If it is, it will do the calculations. But if the value is equal to 0 else statement, it will give us this error message. Division by 0 is undefined because mathematically it is incorrect. Then it will terminate the function with return statement. If it does not happen, it will show us this success message in here. In the subtract function, it gets an array and the integer value as a parameter. Then it assigned first index value of an array to subtract sum with the similar logic. Then the calculations with the for loops. After the for loop terminates, it will show us the result in this message right here. In the main part, I defined my array size to 100. Then I defined my size n and choice as an integer to be able to use them in later. Then program push user to enter number between 1 to 100. Then it will collect the user entered number in the size n. After that, it will use that size n as a parameter in the for loop. Then it will collect each value at the array from the user. Then I defined my instance of a calculus as a calculator to be able to use functions which I defined in calculus in later. Then program shows each member of an array in this for loop with cout method. Then program gives user a user interface to be able to push them select one calculation, and it will collect it in the choice and put it in the switch case, and it will do the calculations based on the user selections like this one, calculator dot summation, like that.